Hello, are you looking for the top 5 techno phones to buy in 2024? I have just a list for you. Let's get right down to business. At the top of the list is the biggest and the baddest of the bunch, the TECNO Phantom Vfold. This big bad boy opens up from a standard 6.42-inch display to a significantly bigger 7.8-inch display. It is powered by a Dimensity 9000 Plus chipset coupled with 12 GB of RAM. Keeping the lights on is a 5000 mAh battery and it charges at up to 45 watts. Now, while 5000 mAh is standard fare for regular smartphones today, it doesn't help much in this guy because it has the poorest battery life of the whole bunch. And you can understand that much bigger display means a whole lot of power being consumed. On the cover is a 16 megapixel camera. Once you open it up, there's a 32 megapixel selfie camera at the top of that display. If you flip to the back, there's a 50 megapixel main shooter, a 50 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide lens. Another nice touch is that the Phantom Vfold has stereo speakers. In number 2 place is the Phantom X2 Pro. It comes to the table with a 6.8-inch display protected with Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus. It's powered by the Dimensity 9000. Now this is the 9000, not the 9000 Plus that powers the Phantom Vfold. Right, so it comes with a Dimensity 9000 chipset, also coupled with 12 GB of RAM. There's a 50 megapixel main camera at the back. It also has a 50 megapixel telephoto lens and a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera. So the rear camera setup is very similar to that of the Phantom Vfold. For selfies, you have a 32 megapixel camera in front. The battery capacity is 5160 milliamp-hours and it is coupled with 45 watt fast charging. In third place is the Phantom X2. That's minus the Pro. The Phantom X2 also has a 6.8-inch display protected with Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus. It also shares the same Dimensity 9000 chipset, but this time it has only 8 GB of RAM and the rear camera setup is completely different. Now we have a 64 megapixel main camera, a 13 megapixel ultra wide lens, and then a 2 megapixel depth sensor. In front is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Battery capacity is 5160 and charging is at 45 watts as well. So we see here that the difference between the X2 and the X2 Pro is found in the RAM and the rear cameras primarily. Now, in number 4 place is the Camon 20 Premier, powered by a Dimensity 8050 chipset coupled with 8 GB of RAM. It has a main camera with a 50 megapixel lens with sensor shift image stabilization, a 108 megapixel ultra wide camera, which also serves for macro shots, and lastly a 2 megapixel depth sensor. In front, at the top of the display, is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. The battery capacity is 5000 mAh and there's 45 watts fast charging. This guy also has stereo speakers and the stereo speakers are fairly good. In number 5 place is the Phantom V Flip, TECNO's second foldable device. The Phantom V Flip is powered by Dimensity 8050 chipset and is also coupled with 8 gigs of RAM. There's a 32 megapixel selfie camera. The camera system at the back is quite different. It has a 64 megapixel main lens, a 13 megapixel ultra wide lens. Battery capacity is 4500 milliamp-hours. It's the smallest battery of the lot. Charging is 45 watts. It also has stereo speakers. The stereo speakers are, however, not as good as those of the Camon 20 Premier. Also, it has to be said, the battery life of the Phantom V Flip comes second to the last position, just above that of the Phantom Vfold. Why is this? Well, as a rule, all other things being equal, foldable phones are still at an early stage of development. Those screens are still guzzling more power than we would like. So, as a rule, most foldable phones don't have exemplary battery life. These are the top 5 TECNO phones you can buy in 2024 as at the end of March, right? Now, why am I making that distinction? Because from April, a new set of Camon and Phantom devices will be announced. The Camon 30 Premier will be announced. The Phantom X3 series will show up. The next generation of the Phantom Vfold and V Flip will be announced. And those are likely to gradually edge these guys I have listed out of the way and then become the best TECNO phones that you can buy in 2024. When that time comes, I will do another video to update you. But for now, if you want the top 5 TECNO phones you can buy today: the Phantom Vfold, the Phantom X2 Pro, the Phantom X2, the Camon 20 Premier, and the Phantom V Flip. I'll see you next time.